I'm Angie Austin with Oil and Gas 360, and we are here at EnerCom's 2018 Oil and Gas Conference in Denver, Colorado. And we have with us Larry Bruno. Larry is the president of Core Laboratories, and also Gwen Schreffler. And Gwen Schreffler is the senior VP of Corporate Development and Investor Relations. So welcome to both of you.
Thanks, Angie. Pleasure to be here.
Enjoying the conference and the beautiful Colorado weather so far?
Always.
It's nice here.
Nice change.
Nice break from the Houston
Texas.
heat. Yeah.
All right, let's get rolling. Could you briefly talk, first of all, about the primary functions of your main business units and how you're impacting different kinds of customers, companies that produce crude oil from unconventional and conventional reservoirs?
So Angie, we operate in two business segments, Reservoir Description and Production Enhancement. So Reservoir Description, roughly 2/3 of our business, think of that as laboratory-based analysis of rock and fluid samples for a worldwide client base. In fact, north of 80% of our revenue in that segment comes from international fields. Now, some of that may be done in laboratories in the U.S., but the fields where the oil and gas and the rocks generate from come from international locations. On the production enhancement side, that's much more focused on U.S. land. About 2/3 of that business comes from unconventional reservoirs currently on onshore U.S. But across Core Lab, whether it's for conventional or unconventional or for domestic or international, we're focused on optimizing our clients' reservoirs. And by that we mean at Core Lab, help them make more oil and gas out of their reservoirs today, but more importantly, higher oil and gas recovery out of their reservoirs over the life of the field.
All right, let's talk about a Core Lab. What's something that you've learned from many years of working with people who are producing from reservoirs in virtually all the oil and gas plays around the planet?
Yeah, I think the main thing I'd bring out there is that whether it's conventional or unconventional, hard data sets, particularly in our case, rock and fluid, and we talk about fluids at Core Lab, we're talking about the reservoir fluids, oil, water, natural gas, hard measurements that they become the inputs into models have always and will always be critical to making informed decisions about their reservoirs. And beyond that, we're going to take our technology development efforts, and we're a very technology-driven company. We're a great innovative company. We're going to keep innovating and bringing new technology to the market. And one of the things that's been proven during the downturn is that our clients are willing to pay for new technologies that'll help them get a better return, even in a challenging market like we've just been through over the last few years.
That makes sense. Well, obviously a very technical field, so let's talk about hiring. Since the recovery started with onshore U.S. and now signs of an international recovery, you'll likely be hiring experienced and new graduates. So what can people in the oil industry do to attract and retain the best talented candidates coming out in the market? I mean, that's got to be a challenge.
That's right, Angie, and we're very proud to say we've got some really great retention programs, but it really starts with the type of talent that we hire and the source of that. We do hire new college grads as well as experienced folks from industry, and we like to focus on hard science backgrounds. So think of geology, chemistry, mathematics, physics, and then we build our own. We have great mentoring programs, development programs, and that really works its way into the retention. We started with 1,300 senior scientists when the downturn started, and today we have 1,300 senior scientists. So there's a couple of things that we owe that to. It's the variety of work as a multinational company, it's the people, and it's the type of projects that folks get to work with. So one minute they could be on a project in U.S. onshore, and the next minute they're working on a project maybe in the Middle East. And the second thing that we focus on is total compensation. So it's not just about cash compensation, it's also about having equity in the company. So we target a certain percentage of an employee's base salary. We award restricted stock. So over time, you've got owners in your company, and that really lends itself to a sustainable future.
Yeah, they're invested.
They're invested.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about technology. What new technologies are you working on that are showing great promise that could become commonplace in the oil and gas industry over the next few years?
So Gwen just mentioned our senior scientists, that's the foundation of Core Lab. Those are what drive what we like to refer to as a technological meritocracy at Core Lab. People who engage with our clients, that see problems that our clients are having, and then work to find solutions to them. We don't do a lot of what I consider a lot of blue sky research. It's very focused on our client problems and finding solutions. So a few things that are working there. One that we're very excited about and so are our clients is enhanced oil recovery in unconventional reservoirs. Typical unconventional reservoir will only produce on average about 7 or 8, 9% maybe of the oil in place. We've been doing some laboratory testing that's demonstrated techniques which will allow them to move that to maybe 13, 14, 15%. So the upside potential for our clients, if they can make that work in the subsurface, is huge. Also, a recently introduced service for completion diagnostics, a breakthrough technology, flow profiler EDS, allowing clients to understand that 4 miles away from the surface where they're trying to get a completion to work and finding out whether it went right, we've got technology that helps them understand what stages are actually contributing to the reservoir performance. So overall, we're going to keep innovating, whether it's digital rock characterization that we brought to market just into the downturn. We had one CAT scanner in 2015. Now we have a fleet of them around the planet.
Wow.
We'll keep bringing new technologies to market, and our clients will pay for it when it helps them get a better return on their investment.
Fascinating tech. All right, so let's talk about Core Labs. One key message that you would want people to take away from your presentation at this year's conference.
I think that we're going to keep working to help them get better returns on their investment through finding technological advancements that are going to help them produce more oil and gas out of their fields today and over the life of the field.
So translate that into a higher net present value, which creates higher incremental recovery rates and higher ultimate recovery rates over the life of their fields.
Sounds like an interesting place to work, Core Lab.
It is.
Sure is.
It is.
Well, thank you both very much, Larry and Gwen. I'm Angie Austin for Oil and Gas 360.